Hello and welcome to this channel. In this instructional video, I'm going to talk about one of the most important parts of your research, the introduction section. Introduction section is really important because in this part, you can talk about the context of your study, the issues present in that context, possible solutions, the purposes of your study, which can address the gaps in the literature, and you can talk about the contributions, significance of your study. I'm going to talk about a well-structured introduction section and exemplify it for you by giving you a sample topic. Imagine you are investigating the impact of an AI chatbot on the writing skills of EFL students. The first part of the introduction, the beginning paragraph, you can talk about the context of your study. That could be your dependent variable, the importance of your dependent variable. Why writing is important. Writing is important because students, by developing the writing skills, can communicate their ideas, can express their ideas easily. For example, they can take part in academic settings by, for example, writing research papers, different things. And also they can develop the other skills, the soft skill, let's say accuracy, grammatical range and accuracy, lexicon, cohesion and coherence, and different skills. You can talk about the context, why writing is important. Then next part, you can write both in one paragraph. You can talk about the issues present in the context. Writing is important, okay? English language writing is important, but there are some issues present in the context. Students do not have enough time, for example, in English language context to receive enough feedback, let's say. For example, the writing instruction does not focus on personalized needs of EFL students. You can talk about different issues present in that context. Then, in the next part, you can write both in one paragraph. The context of the study, the importance of writing, and then the issues present in that context in one paragraph. Then next, you can talk about the possible solutions. You can talk about, for example, you can introduce technologies, online platforms, and how online platforms can address the aforementioned writing barriers, let's say. You can say online platforms can address some of the issues present in the context for writing performance. For example, students can have collaborative writing activities both inside the class and outside the class, so they are not limited by time. For example, they can receive a lot of feedback from the peers, other peers, also from the instructor, even outside of the class, and that's really important. Now, you can talk about your independent variable, which is related to that online platform. Let's say AI chatbots. AI chatbots, again, the importance of AI chatbots. AI chatbots are important because they can address the aforementioned writing barriers. Students can have one-to-one interactive writing activities with AI chatbots. They can receive immediate and personalized feedback on their writing skills, and they develop different skills. Now you can talk about some previous studies. For example, relevant, related previous studies, like, for example, the impact of AI chatbots on the writing performance have been investigated by different researchers. Then you can find a gap and talk about that gap in the literature. Okay, they investigated the effects of AI chatbots on the writing performance, but not this specific sub-skill, let's say. Not, let's say, writing organization. They investigated the impacts of AI chatbots on the grammatical range and accuracy, which is one of the sub-skills of writing performance, but not, for example, writing organization, not writing content. After finding the gap, you can talk about the purposes of your study, the objectives of your study. Therefore, because of the gaps existing in the literature, this study explored the effects of AI chatbots on the writing organization of EFL students. So both quantitative and qualitative data were collected to explore the, dependent variable, the students' writing skills improvements more deeply, profoundly, let's say. You can talk about the importance of your writing. Then the last section, you can talk about the contribution of your study. The findings of this study were important because EFL instructors, especially in EFL context, okay, in English language context, instructors, for instance, can apply the findings, okay, in their classes, for example, by integrating AI chatbots in their writing courses to develop the writing skills of EFL students more effectively or more efficiently. Also, AI chatbots are important for EFL students because, for example, they can have collaborative writing activities with other peers. Okay, that's the last section, contribution. Sometimes in the introduction, after the introduction, they can, researchers can talk about the questions, research questions. Sometimes it is at the end of the introduction, sometimes at the end of the literature review, depending on the researcher's preferences. Again, depending, on the researcher's preferences, some researchers, let's say, remove some sections of this introduction section. Also, depending on the journal requirements, some journals, for example, restrict you by word counts. For example, they say 7,000 words only are possible for a submission. So in this case, for example, you can go and delete some sections, let's say. The beginning part mostly about the context of the study or the issues present in the context. You can start talking about the independent variable, the importance of that, and then the purposes of your study and different sections, contribution. It depends on the researcher's preferences. Sometimes you can omit the contributions too. It depends, but a well-structured introduction section is like this, and all the steps should be regarded in experimental research. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please reach out.